I guess Alex Pereira is a hot topic right now for the UFC, nah? And apparently who his opponent will be is also a hot topic. I'm beginning to sense there's a little bit of animosity towards Alex Pereira, which is interesting because it wasn't that 5 months ago. Now it seems that people are beginning to object to the idea of letting him move up to heavyweight or face another light heavyweight contender or what have you. Whatever it is, I'm starting to see more and more objections pop out. I put up a tweet that was saying let him do whatever he wants after this fight, win or lose, and someone replied to me about Magomed Ankalaev and that should be the next opponent for Alex. No objections, no debate about it. If Alex decides to stay at light heavyweight, then definitely Magomed Ankalaev would, in my opinion, would be the next one to face him. And I just want to talk about that fight for a second because I'm not going to do squab talks about these. So bookmark this, save it in a watch later playlist or something just in case it happens because I'm going to let you know what would happen. Ankalaev fans seem to be dismissing Alex Pereira's capabilities, and definitely Pereira fans are dismissing Ankalaev's capabilities. Now, I don't do this very often, but I'm gonna do one for you guys, and it's not on the women, so I'm gonna just say this fight is a lot closer than what a lot of people are thinking, no matter which way you lean. It is true, Alex Pereira has a devastating left hook and some great leg kicks and head kicks. We see that all the time, obviously. And I think he's sitting at, I'm recording this off the top, I think he's sitting above 6 strikes landed per minute. I think it's almost as high as 6.5. That, for those unaware that come across this video, over 6 strikes per minute landed? Over 6 strikes per minute landed is insanely good. And just so we're all on the, that's the baseline here, all right? And in comparison to Magomed Ankalaev's, it's like, man, he doesn't stand a chance, right? Because his strikes landed per minute are 3 point something. I think it's over 3. But that is because of his methodology to fighting, and also he has ups and downs. Whereas Alex Pereira really hasn't had a down. Even when he was knocked out by Izzy, he was still on the up, on the offensive, being the aggressor. Ankalaev has had some downs to where some people get up and just walk away from the fight that he's in. This is not a good representation of Ankalaev's abilities. I think his best strike has got to be the 2. If you're using Boss Rutan system, the 2 is the cross. And he also has very good kicks, very good leg kicks. Guys, Alex Pereira is not indestructible. He definitely has that aura, but so did Khamzat Chimaev. I do think that having powerful and technical ability with kicks, with any form of wrestling as your foundation in MMA is pretty damn solid. That's a pretty solid thing to start off with, which is what Ankalaev has. Sambo wrestling and some pretty good damn kicks. If you're saying he doesn't have good kicks, dude, I don't know. I'm not here to argue with you. His accuracy in striking, it's not much less than Alex Pereira's. It's not, dude. I think I'm almost positive. In fact, let me look this up just to be sure real quick. Yeah, Pereira's striking accuracy at 60%, Ankalaev at 55%, okay? The strikes landed per minute are not indicative, like I said, of what Ankalaev is capable of. It's because Pereira doesn't waste any fucking time trying to do takedowns and wrestle. He's not a sambo wrestler or wrestler at all. With that said, Alex Pereira is definitely the better striker. There's no doubt about it. In fact, I'd say Alex Pereira's striking is a plus to Ankalaev's by a wide margin. The math is just there. It's just there to put together for yourself. And again, this isn't going to tell you who wins, though I'll let you know right now, as of today, I'd be leaning towards Alex. And the reason I think that Alex would win is because if he crowds Ankalaev, that's where Ankalaev's gonna have problems. He's not as good at close distance distance in striking as Alex Pereira. This is evidentiary across all of their fights. The forward pressure is what Ankalaev would have to find a counter to, and though that wrestling just might be it. But Alex hasn't had to use the wrestling he's learned from Glover since before Jamal Hill. So we've gone all year without seeing what improvements he's made. It is true, even at his age, he's still getting better as an MMA fighter. Dude, what if he goes in there and shows Ankalaev a thing or two on the mat? That's almost laughable to some of the fans across the seas, I know. But we gotta be realistic here too, you know? It's also positive Ankalaev does a will kick and knocks out Pereira. How insane would that be? I do believe high pressure striking is what would break Ankalaev in this fight. Not break him mentally, but break his chances of winning. I do think where it could be unpredictable with them is Pereira might surprise us with some takedown defense we haven't seen yet, at a level that we haven't seen yet. I mean, maybe Ankalaev goes in and controls the pace, but it's not the pace that we've seen in the past. It's a pace that stagnates Pereira's pressure, and just feinting takedowns and leg kicks ain't gonna do it. This is where their coaches and teams come in. The other thing is both these guys have pretty high IQ. We've seen it more from fight IQ, I mean. We've seen it more from Alex Pereira lately than Ankalaev. And I don't know if Ankalaev was sick or dealing with family pressures or country pressures or just whatever, you know? But some of you guys are getting a little bit too ahead of yourselves to just count him out. I completely believe that Ankalaev has a good chance, almost coin flip even, with Alex Pereira as a win. Though I'm leaning Pereira, 60-40 or 65-35. 60-40 sounds about right. 35% chance of winning seems a little low for Ankalaev, and I mean that, fight me. Another thing that everyone's talking about is, what if he moves up to heavyweight, fights Jon Jones? Even Dana says, I know that's what people want to see, we'll see, blah, 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 blah. Let me get Aspinall out of the way. For some reason, I think the Tom Aspinall-Alex Pereira fight is way more lopsided in Aspinall's favor than it is for Alex against Jon Jones or Magomed Ankalaev, or them against him being one-sided. I think Aspinall, as long as no knees blow out or something like that, he will crowd Alex Pereira, and he will get him on the ground and beat the fuck out of him on the ground. Dude, that Alex Pereira, dude, is the most interesting combat sports athlete in the world today. And he only made it, and this is my opinion, but I already made a video about it. Check it out down below. These three options are so fascinating, because he could lose any. But the one I think he would lose the most to is the interim champion in Tom Aspinall. Going on to Jon Jones, man. This fight, in my head, much closer than against Ankalaev. Jon's very good at playing the distance game. He's good at the high variance in his strikes. One or two strikes here, switch it up into something else. Alex Pereira, same thing. I maybe give a razor's edge in accuracy off the top. We'll look it up, but I'm gonna give a razor's edge real quick. Alex Pereira, right? In accuracy. Let's take a look here. The other thing while I'm doing this, dude, both got kicks, both got good kicks, both got power. 58% to 60% in Pereira's. Yeah, dude, that on the feet, that's way more close than what it would be with Ankalaev, at least on paper. Also, their strikes landed per minute, looking at it a lot closer, but still, Pereira's 2 integers ahead of Jones in striking accuracy, okay? The biggest difference, obviously, would be the wrestler, and this is gonna be the problem with Alex Pereira for the rest of his career, because the next 3 fights in line for him, not named Israel Adesanya, are going to be people with strengths in wrestling. In my opinion, namely Aspinall, Ankalaev, Jon Jones. And Jon Jones is probably the worst one as far as the grappling goes. And I know I just said what I said about Tom Aspinall, but Aspinall does not have the variance, the elbows, the spinny shit, the oblique kick that Jones has to set up these traps over time, tied into his grappling. Aspinall has the speed in the grappling, and man, That's why I said, fuck me, dude. We gotta see Aspinall and John Jones too, just while I'm sitting here talking about it. It's time to put a little bit of respect on his tweet about, what do you guys think about facing Alex? I know the instant reaction was, oh, you just ducking Aspinall. Even I was thinking that. I wasn't like triggered, but I know, I'm like, dude, just fight Aspinall. But now for what Alex Pereira has done from 300 to now, are we still gonna argue that as like some kind of blowout or unfair thing? I mean, if the UFC doesn't do it, I'll do it. I'll make the fucking video of the light heavyweight legacy and how Alex Pereira is the only one that has brought any kind of order to it since John Jones. That in itself is a story. Not to mention where Alex came from, how he got here, and like a skipping stone across the fucking river, just collecting titles along the way and taking out some of the biggest names in the UFC. The fight is amazing, dude. The fight is amazing. But I don't think people should count out Pereira against Jones, just like I don't think people should count out Ankalaev against Pereira. As far as like technical breakdowns and all, I'm gonna leave it right there. Again, this is just my fucking opinion. Another thing I wanted to touch on is the backlash for Alex Pereira all of a sudden. This happened with Israel Adesanya. Dude, why you guys do this? I know not everyone that's listening does this, but like seriously, like the Ethernet are out there. Why y'all do this? I have been telling everybody that it is a new era coming since last April when Vince and Ari announced the merger of the WWE and the UFC. And it wasn't just, oh, it's a new era. We'll see Bobby Lashley and Shayna Baszler on some UFC show talking about 300. We'll see Cody Rhodes doing promos for Dustin Poirier. No, I mean it's a new era altogether. Dude, what Alex Pereira is doing is great. In fact, it's like what I love about MMA. I love when a buzzsaw comes through and disrupts everything, right? At some point, you gotta let go being a fan of a specific fighter if you want to continue to love MMA and watch it evolve and evolve with it. And that's just my opinion. At the same time, this is that fast food content champion route that I said was on its way. That I told you guys when Nina did the oil him up thing, you know? Not women, not kids. A bunch of grown men fell in love with that, and all still to this day you'll see oil him up pop up here and there. Neither here nor there. I've been telling you guys, look at my video library. It's a new era. This is what it means to be great in this modern day, dude. The Anderson Silvas and George St. Pierre's and Chuck Liddell's, all that was great. And I miss it. I miss a lot of it. I miss a lot of stuff from that time in my life and how the world was, dude. But it's not what it is. And I let out plenty of rage ranting about how this new era of UFC is. And people have told me left and right, quit being a bitch. You sound like a little baby. The moment I welcome it in, now y'all want to flip the script and not accept Alex Pereira just skimming across here all of the UFC roster beating down people. Why? We're sitting here watching Sean O'Malley go from 13 to champion in a matter of 5 months. What's his name from Japan just jumped up 8 spots out of nowhere for no reason, flyweight. Mackenzie Dern's been in the top 10 since she fucking got into the goddamn UFC. Why is this a problem now? Nina Drama's wearing a giant snake costume. Paige Van Zant's on Power Slap, and UFC so-called MMA media is interviewing her, asking her about it. Which, by the way, guys, I thought she made millions from OnlyFans. Why is she doing this? Duh. Power Slap is watched in India like a motherfucker. That's why she wore all the baggy clothes for the Power Slap. To get people curious. In other words, more money on OnlyFans. A lot of lonely dudes in India, dude. And do they ever love them some blonde-haired girls? Why you acting stupid, media? Anyway, way off topic here. Dude, this is what this is now. I'm surprised there's still people trying to hate WWE. I mean, if you hate it, you hate it, but why are you gonna so outwardly speak against it and try to be divisive? The UFC wants more fans. They're gonna pull them from the WWE because they are gonna cross over, dude. WWE fans don't hate MMA the way MMA fans wanna try to hate professional wrestling. So you guys better get ready. They got 3 or 4 more Nina Dramas already in the works. Low key, Triple H just did an interview with Pat McAfee McAfee, and they were full-on kayfabe, talking about Chad Gable with the bullet to the head by the Wyatt Six and whatnot. In-house press conferences and media. Eventually, the UFC is gonna do the same thing as the WWE is trying to do right now. It's all gonna be in-house, and they're gonna control everything. There's not gonna be any Shaqs or any Jose Youngs or Danny Seguras. You know, there'll be some John Morgans and definitely some fucking Kevin Iolis. They want that. They want it. And Alex Pereira is the perfect embodiment of what this era is. Go through, beat the fuck out of everybody. Doesn't matter the weight class, how popular are you? The UFC rankings need to be completely realigned. Dana, quit trying to be like, oh, it's you guys. No, dude, just say rankings are based on how popular you are. But if you want the highest of platforms, then be like Eileen Perez and go twerk after every fucking fight, and Ariel Helwani will interview you for hours on end. That is the era we're in. Ariel was not always interviewing fucking twerkers. He wasn't always trying to set fighters up on dates. This is what sells, dude. Dopamine spike of some crazy shit, go. Tits, go. Ass, go. Knockout, go. What's next? Go. This fighter said that, go. Alex Pereira's giving y'all what you want. Now you don't want it? Make up y'all's mind, dude. You're in the TKO era, homie. You ain't in UFC era. I spent a year bitching about that, and no one was on my side. Everyone made fun of me. And now I'm sitting here, alright guys, I'll follow you over here and accept the fucking dumb shit. And everyone wants to flip the script and be over there on the dignity and honor side? I can't win with y'all, huh? Let Alex Pereira do whatever the fuck he wants. I love the idea of him and Ankalaev. I love the idea of him and Aspinall. And my god, dude, it should be him and Jones. It should be. Interesting, man. 2 years ago, it was all Izzy and Jones. I'm telling y'all, in this new era, you had O'Malley, you had Adesanya, you had Hamzat doing all this crazy shit. Alex Pereira is the amalgamation of that. And by the way, Peyton Talbot is the next one up. Diego Lopez, he's the next one up after that. Y'all are getting what you wanted. You're getting what you asked for. You made your fucking bed.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.